All right, guys, this is the H635 3-in-1 thermal optic from DNT, and I think this might be the best affordable thermal optic on the market currently. So I just got this. I purchased it with my own money, and I'm not affiliated with DNT in any way. These are my own thoughts and opinions. So as I said, this is a very versatile unit. It is 3-in-1, meaning that it can be a clip-on in front of an LPVO, it can be a handheld scanning monocular, and it is a standalone scope because it has built-in reticles. That is a lot of versatility, guys, in one unit. The model I got is the HS635, which is the 640 by 512 resolution with 35mm lens. Now, as you can see, there are two cheaper options that are lower resolution. However, to me, I think at the price point, the 640 resolution is really the way to go, in my opinion. So that's what I went with. I'm not a big specifications guy, but here's the specifications from their website if you want to dig in on all three models. Also, I did note this. It is IP67 waterproof rated and takes 50 BMG recoil, so definitely a sturdy unit for sure. So this is my initial video on it. We'll be doing a lot more in the future, but today we're going to be going over what it comes with in the box. We're going to be going over my recommended accessory equipment. We're going to go over mounting options. I'll talk about mounting heights, different mounts you can use to accomplish different heights. And also, I'll go out and take some footage tonight, and we'll see if we can't find some hogs. And I will be marking chapters in this video as well, so if you want to skip to a particular section, just click on the chapter hyperlink. All right, what's in the box? Obviously, it comes with the optic. Has a nice cap on the objective lens, folds flat, which I really like. I'll be keeping that on there. Has a nice removable rubber eye cap, very handy for standalone and scanning. And then you get the battery charger, which also it comes with two 18650 batteries, flat top, very nice. Comes with the factory mount that you see in pictures. However, I opted to get the ADM QD mount, the 170-S. We'll be getting into that more later, but you can get that directly from DNT on their website when you're purchasing the optic. Comes in this nice box here. Nice pretty picture inside. It's got this semi kind of hard shell-ish case. I think it's a bit too big, but it's got a mesh area here and a hole down here. So here's the optic in the case that it comes with. There's a lot of room for this thing to wiggle around. I think it's probably about twice as deep as it needs to be. So if I had a little bit of feedback to give to DNT, I would say a more form-fitting case I think would be really nice. And you'll see here in just a second, as you can see kind of peeking up here in the corner, I've got some recommended equipment to kind of remedy this coming up here in just a second. That's what it comes with when you order the optic. This is the case that I recommend you get for it. It is made by Seahorse. It's waterproof, super rugged, made in the USA, basically like a little Pelican case. I put some stickers on it, obviously, labeled it. And it is lockable with this little plastic key right here if you choose to do that and want to just keep prying hands out of there. Now, let me show you what's inside. The optic fits like a glove, guys, perfectly. And it's got this nice squishy rubber in here to help keep it protected. It's got this nice rubber net up top. And what I keep in here is I keep a Nikon lens pen. Highly recommend that you keep a lens pen. You do not want to be wiping your lenses with your t-shirt. Do it with a lens pen. Keep your gear good. Don't be a savage. Also, I highly recommend extra batteries. I think DNT says the optic runs 6 to 8 hours, I believe, on a single battery. I'll correct that if I need to on the screen here. From what I find, usually it's a bit shorter than what manufacturers say, especially if the night is super cold outside. So carry some extra 18650 batteries. I usually order these Samsung ones, I believe, the purple ones. You can find them like on Modlite. I think you can get them from DNT. Probably other places on the internet as well. These are the two green ones that it comes with. And I highly recommend this 18650 battery holder. Again, links to everything will be in the description box below, so you guys can find this equipment for yourself, but it fits in there like a glove. Put the optic back in here, put my lens pin in this area here in the bottom. Boom. This thing is nice and cozy. Throw it in your truck, throw it in your gear bag, and you are ready to go. Much better case, in my opinion. All right, let's go over some mounting options for this bad boy. Obviously, DNT includes their factory mount. I just didn't really like it, so I didn't even use it. And I opted to buy the ADM QD mount straight from DNT. It is the ADM 170-S. The Optic centerline height with this mount ends up being about 1.2 inches, which is lower than the typical absolute co-witness of about 1.5 inches. I figured we better just look at the setups. So this is the dedicated hog hunting pistol upper. I'm not finished with it yet, but this is what it looks like on there. I've got the Unity 1/3 riser facing backwards, which allows me to get the Optic farther back for better eye relief and everything. And it rides very nicely on there. That is the Unity 1/3 height Optic riser. And that puts this setup on top of it at a 2.0 Optic height, which is pretty close to the 1.93 of my LPVO. So both of my rigs that I'm using with thermal, I'm trying to keep them, similar Optic height just for consistency. And so 2.0 is pretty close to 1.93. It's working out very nicely so far. Obviously, I'll have a lot more information coming your way as I put more time behind the Optic and running it in those particular configurations. Plenty of room to still rack the charging handle. I do plan on putting a white light on here as well as a offset red dot. That way if things get crazy and you get like 50 hogs running at you, you can just turn on the white light, cant the pistol, and take care of them that way. But this is a very nice little lightweight hog hunting setup. It's just an Aero Precision with the .625 Ballistic Advantage Hansen barrel on there. So very lightweight setup, very easy to walk around all night with and take down some bacon. And here she is in clip-on mode with my awesome Primary Arms peanut butter pickle here. I love these PLX Primary Arms scopes, by the way. Very lightweight, excellent glass clarity. But it is on my 1.93 height ScalarWorks mount. As you can see, the Optic height is a very nice matchup here. And I chose to use the Unity Absolute Height Riser, which gets the Optic to about 2.2 Optic centerline, which works pretty nicely with the 1.93 LPVO height. Obviously, it's not perfect, but to me, that was the best fit that I could find, and it works great. The view through the LPVO looks fantastic when using it as a clip-on. And guys, this is very lightweight feeling still. I could easily walk around and shoot this offhand and do it for quite a long time. This does not feel too heavy. And to give you an idea of what this rig is, this is a 16-inch Sons of Liberty Gunworks with their V2 Combat Profile barrel. I'm running the lightweight MFT stock. I love these things. I've got a white light on front, the Emissary handbrake, and that's about it. And guys, really, this is not too heavy. I could shoot this a lot and not get fatigued. So great setup here. Really liking it. Looking forward to putting a lot of time behind it. So without going into every possible iteration, just know that this setup right here is 1.2 inches Optic centerline. Just add that to any riser that you're looking at to get to your desired Optic centerline height. Let's go find some hogs. And I'll show you the different color palettes, and I'll show you how good the footage looks, give you an idea of the image quality. All right, just pulled up to the field. Let's see if we can find some hogs and give you an idea of what the footage looks like coming out of the Hydra HS635. That hay bale's about 250 or 300 yards out, I'd say. Got some hogs out here. There's some hogs about 100 yards. Give you a different view of color palettes on a hog. It's white hot, black hot, red hot, and iron hot. I'm gonna go back to black hot. We'll zoom. 2¼ X, 3X, 4½ and 6, and back to 1½ X. Plenty of hogs out tonight. There's a couple big hogs right there, some boars. Look at those guys. That's about 300 yards out. Alright, I just noticed there's a couple bunnies right here. I'd say they're about maybe 30-40 yards. We'll do a little zoom. 3X. There you go. We got a bunny there and a bunny there. And I'm just holding the monocular as a handheld scanner right now. Now at 3X, this still looks pretty good to me, man. You're talking 300-400 yards. I can look out here and see there are no hogs, that these are cows. And that is pretty good, if you ask me, for digital zoom. Let's go ahead and go to 4½ X, 6X, and then we'll go to base mag of 1½. Alright, just looking at the ceiling of my building here, and let's go over some of the reticles that you can do in this thing. So here we go. Alright, we'll go back over to the top. Alright, so you've got this one with like a BDC drop compensator. There's another style of a BDC. Got kind of a traditional hunting style of a crosshair. Another one. I like this one. This one's pretty clean. This weird box one. Nice little plus symbol here in the middle. Another box. I think this would be cool if it was more of a, like a donut of death EOTech looking thing. I think that would be neat. And then you can hide the reticle. So this one right here is my favorite. Now let's go and show you the reticle colors. You can do red, green, yellow, black, or white. I like red. I just wanted to mention one more thing. You do not even have to be into hunting or tactical stuff to utilize something like this. It is awesome for nature watching. Just go sit in front of a field and you can see what's happening at night. It's a whole new world. So you can share videos, record the videos on here, share it with friends and family, show them what's on your property, show your kids what's happening at night, take them out at night, use it as an educational thing. This is really, really fun, and it's not just for people who hunt. In summary, I would like to say this thing is extremely versatile, not so much as a microphone, but the fact that it can do 3-in-1, a clip-on, a handheld scanner, and a standalone scope is pretty awesome. Also, it is somewhat affordable. I didn't get into that yet, but basically somewhere around 2,000 doll hairs. I have to say that because of YouTube algorithm and censoring stuff. But usually from what I've seen so far, there's somewhere around a 10% discount available usually on DNT's website, so go check that out. From what I hear, it is possible that thermal optics in general will be going up because of tariffs, so who knows if that's going to happen or not. Just be aware of that. By the way, so 2,000 is a lot of money, I get that, but from what I have seen, prior to this thing, it would take about 5,000 doll hairs to get close to this quality or versatility. So to me, the fact that something like this is now available for around 2,000 is pretty mind-blowing. Okay, coming up as well, I also have a video on how to zero the optic for clip-on mode properly. Also, I will be doing another video on zero shift and how the optic is affected by taking it on and off the mount a bunch of times, seeing if it retains zero, both as a standalone and as a clip-on. Also, we're going to be doing some hog hunting, obviously, bacon baby, and I'm going to be doing some fun thermal evasion videos and just showing you different techniques that you can use to hide yourself from thermal. And shout out to Falcon Claw, they also do some awesome videos on that same topic. but I really want to be diving into that as well. So you can look forward to that stuff coming soon. But I've got a lot more content coming up here soon, so stay tuned for that. I hope you stick around for that stuff. Guys, thank you for watching.